have a bang. All the Mars and cars now, with your bag it up. I start my card with a sweet one bliss. Someone flicks me a bag it up. So, it's another one. It's another one, yeah. It's a full strand, yeah. Oh, it's another one. It's another one, yeah.
We're back. We're back. Listen, this is our new boxing platform channel, our Boxing Hub. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. I go by the name of Yenji, featuring yours truly, Trey.
Yo, cuz, obviously, just wanted to give a big shout out to iBoxing Hub. We're obviously excited about this collaboration. This is a new channel, new energy, new vibes, and new content. So we're obviously excited to be a part of the team. And yeah, we're just gonna switch up the boxing scene just a little bit with our energy, man. So, cuz, this is episode number 1. This is the first one, of course. Another one on a different platform. But
just before we start,
yeah,
I just wanted to ask you a question. What happened to Man United today?
Boy, you had to drop that question, didn't you?
I'm sorry.
Of course. Yeah, look, obviously Robert Dugmore is my colleague from work. He's obviously saying, "Evening, lads. I'm not allowed to talk about Man United because you're a Brighton fan, but I can comment about my favorite number, which is obviously the amount of rounds." Yep, yeah. Oh, yeah, of course. Obviously, big up, Robert Dugmore, of course. Loving the energy, of course, and thank you for tuning in for our show. Just a quick one, cuz you can answer that, man. What do you think now?
Taylor and Cameron, I think that fight should happen next. They're both up for it, so I think it should definitely happen next. Me personally, I'm backing Chantelle Cameron. That's just me, but I think it'll be a big fight.
Yeah, definitely. Cause look, in my opinion, and obviously we've interviewed Chantelle Cameron before. We know who she's like. We know her energy. We know her vibe, and I think she's ready. I think she's ready for a Katie Taylor fight, especially at this point of her career. Katie Taylor's sort of coming to the end of her career as well. Not the end. We're not saying she's retiring or nothing, but she's put in the graft. She's put in everything really to the sport. So to have that fight in Ireland against another, undisputed champion, that's still a tremendous replacement for Serrano. If you're asking me, I don't know about you, cuz.
No, most definitely. I mean, so if she was to lose, I mean, will they run it back again, or is that it?
You talking about if Katie Taylor was to lose? Oh, yeah. They have to run that back by at the O2, your place at the O2. Run that back. Katie Taylor versus Chantelle Cameron at the O2. I would obviously love it, man. So big up Ayaz Mahmood as well. Look, big up, loving the energy. Thank you so much for tuning in to our first show. Look, we're excited to obviously be on this platform, of course, and we just feel that it's a new energy, new vibes, and we're gonna bring some heat to the content world with obviously our new content. So obviously, big up Ayaz Mahmood for the love once again. Cuz, before we sort of get into it, man, and look, we're gonna cover quite a few topics, of course, but as you know, the name of the show is Boxing Roundup. So let's round up and rewind back to last week. We obviously had Jake Paul, the problem child, fight Tommy TNT Fury. Cuz, like, what's your thoughts about the fight? Firstly, was it the result that you predicted, and did it deliver from a commercial aspect?
Oh, hell no. The marketing was great. The main event was shocking. It was not what I was expecting at all. Honestly, I thought Tommy could have done better, but don't get me wrong, look, he got the W, but I'm questioning myself, like, is he even British level? I mean, he's now ranked number 15 on WBC. Me personally, I think he should just go over to, is it Misfits?
Yep.
He'll probably do better there. because again, I know he carries the name Fury, but he's not Tyson, is he? Jake Paul, I don't know, man. It seemed like he reminded me a bit of Wilder when Wilder fought Fury in the first fight, just relying on the punch power in it. And I didn't really see much from him. I mean, he said allegedly he was ill, he was sick or whatnot, blah, blah, blah. But would you pay for a rematch? Me? No. I would definitely ain't paying. I'm not watching a rematch. No way. If anything, I want BT to refund me by my money, but it was shocking. I mean, the undercard was poor. I mean, look at what's his name? Makabu and what's my man's name? What's his name now?
Jack the Ripper.
Yeah, bro. Like, I'm sorry. So Makabu's 35, Badou Jack's 39, bro. I'm sorry, bro. That performance was shocking, bro. It was terrible.
The ages were reversed, didn't it, man? Like, obviously, Makabu is Congolese. We're Congolese. Look, we're always going to support our Congolese brother, man. But, you know, me watching that fight as well, I was just thinking to myself, like, rah, man, Badou Jack looks like the younger man, but he's the older man in this fight, man. And it just showed, man. That should have been the main event in a lot of people's eyes. But, you know, in terms of the commercial promotion, I would say, it's just one of them ones, man. At the end of the day,
it's good that Badou Jack, he's now in a cruiserweight division, so it's just spiced up a few things. You know, you got Badou Jack, you got Riapo, you got Okoli, and you got whoever, yeah. So it should be interesting. But Makabu, is he retired then, or is there more?
I don't even know, cuz, man. Obviously, that's our Congolese brother, man. What do you think, man? Like, what would you advise him if you are his manager, if you're his manager right now? What are you advising?
Call it a day. You've become a champion. Well, you were a champion. You've done what you needed to do. Just, if anything, just train the youngers, or So yeah, just call it a day. But back to Fury and Jake. Sorry, yeah, Fury and Jake. Would you class that as a knockdown?
Yeah, 100%, cuz 100% that's a knockdown. There's no slip, no nothing. I just felt that the way he landed that sharp jab, definitely a knockdown. Caught Tommy by a surprise, and look, rightfully so. I just felt that maybe Jake should have, you know, been more smarter with his combinations. So after landing that jab, maybe throwing that right hand and be more clever with Tommy Fury, because at the end of the day, we saw someone else that looked more experienced than the other person in terms of how he was throwing in the combinations. He was going in and out. He was using his range, his long arms. So respect to Tommy Fury on that. But for me personally, and this is just my personal views, this is nothing, you know, against no one, but the kind of grease that Tommy Fury was talking before the fight and the way the fight ended, mate, it shouldn't be no, this is the greatest moment of my life and all of these sort of talks. Nah, it just should have been back to the drawing board. You know, Jake is better than what I expected, because at the end of the day, like, as much as a lot of people could say, the level, waste of time, Jake still took this pro fighter, even if he's experienced or not. He's been fighting since, you know, for 5 years, and then Fury's been fighting all his life. And the threats he was getting, he even said, I swear to God, I'll knock you out clean. So, guys, I'm just saying, look, give the other man his respect here. I think that deserves a rematch. And, I think, cuz, you would even have a good fight with Jake Paul, man. So, based on what Mark is saying.
If the money was right, why not? But no, I mean, okay. Would you class Jake Paul as a pro boxer now?
Yeah, you would class him as a pro boxer now. He's gone in the ring for a pro boxer. He hasn't been knocked out by a pro boxer. He lost a split decision. You know, losses don't make you as a fighter. You know, this is his first proper real fight. He's gone in there. He's lost. So he's got another chance to redeem himself in a rematch, maybe, or the KSI fight is still out there as well. But
that's the thing. KSI wants Tommy Fury. Should Tommy Fury entertain KSI?
Definitely, yeah, 150 million%. I think from a, I would say, a YouTube commercial influencer point of view, that fight makes sense because you got Mr. Love Island versus, KSI. Do you know what I mean? Like two big names within sort of that sort of social media space. I think that would make a good fight. Maybe DAZN should, have the coverage for that because of the whole Misfits situation. Maybe it should be on a Misfits event and that being the main event. I think because they'll do numbers. They're already doing numbers already. And look, even iBoxing Hub, big up, man. He's saying easy money for Tommy.
Yeah.
And yeah, of course it would be. Yeah, it would be. It would be. That's why, look, cuz let me ask you this. Look, Tommy Fury is now a registered WBC ranking cruiserweight. You weigh him in with a Coley or a, Riakpo, like what's that saying for you, cuz? In the horizon.
Are you sure? Is it cruiserweight or light heavyweight?
Wasn't it not cruiserweight?
No. Light heavyweight. He's in the same division.
No, and
oh, sorry, I thought you were talking about Tommy.
It's just about Tommy Fury and Jake Paul, man. They're cruiserweights. They're cruiserweights.
Sure?
Yeah,
no, light heavyweight.
You reckon they're light heavies?
I'm sure. Tommy's in the same division.
Boxing. I just think let's just clarify it for both of us. So we could just have it out there. Is Paul and Fury cruiserweights or light heavyweights? Just a moment of truth.
I'm sure it's light heavy. I'm sure it's light heavy. Because if it's cruiserweight,
that's what I'm thinking. Cause just really deep it. Oh, Tommy's light heavy.
Light heavy. Told you, light heavy.
Tommy's light heavy. All right, no, it's fair. It's fair. But I'm sure Jake's cruiser, no, or no?
I don't know. No,
I don't know, man. It doesn't even matter up to this point, man. At the end of the day, I think what we was talking. Oh, Tommy can't make the limit. No, fairs. My mistake on that one. But at the end of the day, Tommy Fury, if you sort of weigh him up with the pros, if he's light heavyweight, for example, who you thinking? You got Kovalev's, you got the Anthony Yards, like up with them guys.
Listen, I mean, look,
even British level. He needs to conquer that.
This is what I'm trying to say. Like, look, like I got to respect him. Like, he won the fight, and he even said, look, he hasn't really been as active. Do you know what I mean? So we can't throw him in the deep end yet. I think you got to build him. He needs probably another 10 fights before he can compete with some of these people, and let alone world class, but British level or even European. But me personally, if I was his, his manager or his dad, I'd probably tell him to go Misfits and just kill it there. Do you know what I'm saying? Easy money, bro. You're making serious dough.
Yep.
It's a no-brainer because look, the worst thing is to fight somebody, in his division, a nobody, and then that person just knocks you out. Boy, not really look good for his career,
but you got, what it is. Look, you got to give him credit anyway, man, because
definitely
this was his biggest. You would say from a psychological perspective, this was a big fight, man. A lot of pressure was on him. Like if he would have lost, imagine all these memes and all like how Jake would have, taken it to a different level. It would have been crazy, man. So big up to him. He obviously performed under the lights, but I don't think that is. If me personally, if I was him, I wouldn't really be too celebrating, man. I would just,
But you got to think of it, yeah. It was a big event. It was a big event. The pressure was on, and it was pay-per-view. Like, put it this way, they've made history. Nobody's done what they've done. An 8-rounder, an 8-rounder, and it's on pay-per-view, and it's in Saudi. Do you know what I mean? And then apparently they've done, I think, is it 500,000 pay-per-view buyers?
I'm not surprised.
So, and plus, this is his biggest paycheck. Got paid what, $5 million? Yep. So you can't, you can't blame him. You can't blame him. But the question that he needs to ask himself is, does he? I believe he wants to continue. He wants to, he wants to become a world champion one day. But what I'm saying is, in terms of Misfits, he can kill that division. He can go in there, do his thing, and then bounce. But again, each their own.
No, definitely, because obviously the next part. But obviously, before we get to the next part, let's just run through this comment here, which is the truth. So big up Ayaz Mahmood once again for your comment. The truth is these men will make money fighting the right type of guys. So it's the YouTube scene / celebrities. But if we're talking serious British levels, we all know what they is. And look, 100%, we agree right now in terms of placing them in at that level.
Wow.
750K
buyers. Do you know what? Yeah, do you know what I'm saying? Wow, that might even do more buyers than AJ and my man fighting next.
Yeah, easily, cuz man. Think about it. It was a big event. Like, not only did you have some of the curious, purists about boxing watching it, but you also had the YouTubers, the social media, the Gen Zs watching, the millennials. They were watching the fight, so they were asking mommy and daddy, "Oh, look, Jay Paul's fighting." Come on, man! Like, this was a no-brainer. You had Mr. Disney basically fighting Mr. Love Island, and you know what sort of crowds both of them bring, man. And big up to both fighters. Big up to obviously Derek Chisora. Big up to the Saudi Arabian, family for putting that together. And look, I just hope for many more events, man. But cuz before we get into sort of Conor Benn, I just wanted us to run through the Wilder and Ruiz situation. Obviously, I think you got some news that that they're both free agents. You saw Wilder in Saudi Arabia for that event. What's your thoughts, man? Like, what is the
I don't know. I mean, look, they're both free agents, so that fight could possibly happen in Saudi because Ruiz has fought in Saudi before, but Wilder has said that he's got big news. He should be fighting somebody that we know. So it could potentially be AJ next. I don't know. I mean, or because my understanding, Fury and Usyk, the fight hasn't been finalized yet. Everyone's talking about April the 29th, but the fight hasn't been finalized yet. So it could be Fury fighting Ruiz, and it could be Wilder fighting Usyk. Who knows? Do you know what I'm saying? Or it could be that UFC guy. What's his name? He left UFC. The head. It could be him. In Saudi, but it'll be interesting just to see. Just imagine that, Usyk fighting Wilder, Ruiz fighting Tyson. This is just amazing, bro.
That'll be like that's what I'm saying. Like, if I was to have if I was to put out a request to Ben Shalom, Eddie Hearn, Wasserman Boxing, like if I was to put out like a request to them is, look, run a Super 6 tournament for every division, man. Let's get all the best fighters fighting the best. Make it like, we used to watch WWE. We used to watch the King of the Ring, for example. Why can't we have like that format event for an undisputed champion, man? We've waited such a long time, for an undisputed champion to be crowned, especially in the division. Like, surely, cuz we need to see the best fight the best. And look, I would love to see Wilder versus Ruiz. I would love to see Wilder versus Usyk and Ruiz versus Fury. Like, these are fights that I would love to see. AJ Ruiz. Like, these are fights. Why can't we put them all in the hat? Mix it up. Tournament straight for undisputed. Whoever's in the finals is for all the belts and just run it through, man. We've not had an undisputed champion since Lennox Lewis, man. And how long?
The thing is, that idea will be amazing. But promoters, they're going to protect their assets. There's no way they want their fighters to lose. Do you know what I mean? So that's why we'll never get these fights happening. Hence why people are complaining about YouTubers. I mean, not being rude yet, but Misfits, they're making the fights happen. They're making the best fight the best. Not even that, the women division, they're making the best fight the best. But the men division, I don't know what's going on. There's too much greed.
Trust me, cuz look, and the fact that you said it, cuz the women's divisions, man, they're doing their thing. So that's why I big up the ladies boxing, because they're making these undisputed fights happen. Why? Because they're putting legacy, they're sort of putting their legacies on the line. They're getting in the ring and they're fighting the best. And look, we've got more undisputed champions fighting each other than we've seen in men's boxing, man. And that should say something as well in terms of like how they're tackling the sport, man. So big up to them. I hope their paydays, quadruple like this year, so that they can be matching what, some of what these guys are getting as well, because they actually get stuck in, man. So like, if Eddie, if you're listening to this, Taylor, Cameron, run that through, man. Like, that's an easy money maker. Undisputed versus undisputed, homecoming, Ireland. Let's have it.
That'll be big. That will actually be big. That and that will do serious numbers. That will do serious numbers. That will be big. But yeah, so Conor Benn. Boy, do you know what? I'm not gonna lie. I haven't really been following as much. I'm just hearing this. Next minute, I'm hearing that. What's your thoughts? I mean, is he guilty or is he not guilty?
You know what? Cause it's a very tough topic to answer, man. Because it's like, at the end of the day, he's given a document which is 270 pages to the WBC. They've obviously, proved it. He's back in the rankings, so we have to take it as, look, he's back. So the fact that he's back until further notice, I don't know how the British Board of Control are going to sort of take this, but we have to take it as if he's an active fighter. He's back. So look, I want him to get back in the ring because he is a talented fighter. He is very explosive. He does have a lot of potential, within sort of that welterweight division. Like, if you're looking at it now, like Errol Spence and Keith Thurman, potentially fighting at 154, that should sort of give you a signal that those guys in the next year or so are going to move up. So what does that mean? The titles are going to get spread out again. And once that happens, I think he's got a good opportunity, to become a world champion. And if it's for the WBC, run that through, man. Who should he fight? Cause you said it off air, and I think
I said it off air. I think Adrian Broner and Conor Benn should get it on.
Run it through.
They should run it through.
Run that through. Run that through. Like, at the end of the day, for me, Adrian Broner, a lot of people can talk about whatever. Excellent question. Now, big up, cuz, man. That is an excellent question. I can't even lie, but big up Bukayo Saka, if it is him. You know what I mean? Big up, man. But look, Adrian Broner, a lot of people can talk about how he is as a character. At the end of the day, he brings eyes, he brings bumps to seats. Cause he's like one of those WWE wrestlers we used to watch growing up, man. He's just entertainment. He's gonna bring that, man. So if Conor Benn's allowed to fight, outside of the UK, run that in the States, man.
Yeah, like I said before, I'd rather Conor Benn fight Adrian Broner. There's no point Conor Benn fighting Pacquiao. It just doesn't make no sense at all. It doesn't make no sense because my understanding, they're trying to build Conor Benn's career. That they're wanting to be the next big thing on the zone. So if he fights the likes of Adrian Broner, after that, then he can challenge what's his name, the boogeyman in the division, in the welterweight division. Your guy,
Dennis.
Yeah. No excuse, innit? There's no excuse.
I don't know if he's like. Obviously, I'm not.
Listen. Believe in your source, innit? So end of the day, like, look, if you want to be a world champion, you have to fight these fighters. You can't just sugarcoat and hide. There's no point. It's boring, man. And not even that, I still think that Conor and Eubank Jr should run it back. Well, later on next year.
Ooh, you've got into that juicy subject. All right, all right. Manager's hat on and promoter's hat on as well. What weight division are they fighting? He has to come up he has to be 160, because they're not doing that.
Yeah, 160
middleweight, one off. You know what I mean? Whoever wins. That's it, man. Just bang. Because I even think 160. You know what? It's gonna be a challenge. I think for both guys, because a lot of people are arguing the fact that if Eubank Jr is able to withstand that sort of weight at 160. We don't know. It was obviously an off night against Liam Smith, but look, I truly believe that Eubank Jr. will bounce back. And
Jeez.
we'll bounce
What,
back, man.
you saying there's a fluke?
Oh, no, not a fluke. No, that happens. What happened to Eubank Jr. is like what happened to United today, man. It's just,
Oh, wow.
just one of them ones, man. It happens. It does happen. It happens. It happens in the sport when two elite, pros are going at it, fine margins, mistakes, these things happen, man.
What you're saying, so basically what you're saying on air, the rematch, Eubank will beat Liam Smith.
I think he can do it, yes.
You don't sound too confident.
No, because I'm saying it confidently. Look, the reason why I think he can do it is because I've seen how he is when he's got that energy, man. That tank that he has. The old Eubank Jr., the early Eubank Juniors, before sort of the drastic changes, he was a tank, man. Even though he was raw, explosive, but he needed to come as that junior against Liam Smith to handle him. Because against Liam Smith, you can't be, a bit like that, man, because Liam's is quite sound in the inside and he's ready to come in. So he's the smaller man. I would have been explosive and, would have tried to get him out as soon as possible and show him, look, I'm the heavier man in this division. I could handle the business. I think he can do it. I think there's no reason why he shouldn't do it. Definitely. If for example, he wants to obviously fight Triple G, for example, innit?
Right.
That's what he wants. So in order for him to fight a Triple G, he needs to be able to, deal with business with Liam Smith first before he can speak to a Triple G for a world title. Do you know what I mean? So I think that's extra motivation for him, man.
I don't know, man. I don't know. No, don't get me wrong. Like, I don't know, because what he's now 33, right? So and he wants a world title shot. There's a possibility that he can get a world title shot. It could be through a different route, but the fights that I want to see him in now is just him, Liam Smith, Conor Benn, and Billy Joe Saunders.
Oh, Billy Joe, this, you know what? This is the one that I think everyone would love to see, man. And this would be a stadium fight easily because it goes back between them two. The bet-ins, from, them having their first fight, the back and forths and this and that. Look, them two, it runs deep, man. And I think that fight makes sense, especially with both fighters, coming off losses. I think Billy Joe, though, like, he's a smart man. He's not going to want to get in with Eubank straight away. He's going to want a few fights because he's been off the ring for a minute. So he's going to need, he's put on weight as well, naturally. So he's going to need, a minute, to adjust his feet, build him up, and then bang. Like, that's the fight I want to see. Billy Joe Saunders versus Eubank Jr., number 2. Run that back at Old Trafford, maybe. Run that back up, maybe, I don't know, man, at the Amex Stadium or, wherever whatever team Billy Joe Saunders supports or O2. Like, run that. I would love that.
Big press conference next week. Gervonta Davis and Garcia. So the fight has been confirmed. It's definitely happening 100%. April the 15th. That should be interesting. Like I said, I'm back in Tank all the way. Tank. I think Tank. This ain't going to distance. I think he's going for the knockout. He's going for the knockout. He's going for the knockout. Yeah, this ain't going to distance. Going for the knockout. And what's next? You got Lomachenko and the undisputed lightweight champion.
The dream?
May the 20th, I believe.
Woo!
Yeah.
So you're saying that the Matrix or whatever they call Lomachenko Loma, you're saying that he's going to potentially fight the dream. Oh, that would be an excellent fight, man. I think that'll be tremendous. And Tony Ellis, big up. Thank you for confirming this. So Billy Joe Saunders, if whoever's listening to this, Eddie Hearn, Wasserman Boxing, Ben Shalom, Chris Eubank Jr. versus Billy Joe Saunders 2 at the Emirates Stadium. Run that. I think that would be a tremendous fight, or wherever, man. That would be a good fight, man, for me anyway. But look, before we sort of wrap up with the show, I just want to sort of give my thoughts on the Tank fight, of course, because I think this is obviously going to be a tremendous fight for Tank. It's going to be a tremendous fight for Ryan Garcia. It's going to be the acid test for both men, really, but more Ryan Garcia, I would say, because we've seen the amount of times that Tank has been able to get the job done. So it's now time to see if Garcia can back up his talk. Can he deliver on a big night and, produce the goods, man? This is Oscar De La Hoya, technically, versus Mayweather.
I was just about to say the same thing.
Yeah,
man. Nah.
So we're having that again, man. So, cuz, how are you gonna wrap up our first show? Cuz, like, it's been tremendous for me, really. But
yeah, like I said, man, we're back. This is us, our Boxing Hub. We're here every Sunday at 7:30, and we're also going to be during the weekdays, I believe Wednesdays as well. But just remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I go by the name of BNG, featuring yours truly, Trey, and we're out.
We're out, man.
It's another band. All the Muslim cars now, whichever get up. Light up my card with a sweet one, please. Someone flicks me a bag by the end. Oh, it's another one. It's another one, yeah. It's a full strand, yeah. Oh, it's another one. It's another one, yeah.